Hello, welcome to Spy Money. What a day today. It was really good for me. Look at that ES dump. I didn't even play the whole thing all the way down, but anyway, I raked in a little over $1,800 scalping futures today. I scalped NG, NQ, and ES. So the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and natural gas. That's where I was today. I didn't do too much on natural gas. I think I picked up like a little over $80 on natural gas today. I had a future put, and I had that from actually a couple of days ago. I bought it, and NG just didn't quite go the way I wanted. It was consolidating quite a lot over the last several days, so it didn't do what I thought, but it dropped today, and I just went ahead and took my profit because I know that the Feds are going to be pumping either tonight or tomorrow, so I wanted to be out of puts. I didn't want to be in them. And I had originally bought those to scalp, and it just didn't drop the way I wanted. So anyway, ES today was really good. Today was, well, yesterday evening I did, I got a Ninja Trader platform and started up an account there. I've also got one at AMP Futures for their platform using multi-charts. The AMP, they just turned mine on a few minutes ago, so I'm going to trade on it as well, and I'm going to pick which one is best. I think I like the multi-charts better on AMP. The fees and everything are basically the same, other than you don't have to buy a platform at AMP where you do at Ninja Trader. So Ninja Trader is a pretty good system. I like it. I made a lot of money on it today. I only put like $1,500 in the account, and I was just going to try it out, and now I've got $3,236 in it. So just trading less than 24 hours. Not even trading that whole time. So I traded today, and traded a little bit last night, but honestly I made like $300 and some before I went to bed last night, and I was just kind of playing around with some different things on ES early this morning, and I ended up losing that and $100. I lost $400 total, and so I guess I was down like $100, down to 14 on my account. And then I just started being a little more conservative, doing playing by the rules today. And then at this end, I was trading 2 ES contracts, shorting it all the way down. And what I was doing, to give you an idea, is I was trading these little pullbacks. I would let it come down a little bit and close it out. I wasn't trying to go for the whole thing. If I did, I could have made a lot more money, I'm sure, especially if I was doing 2, 3 contracts or whichever. But I was just doing little scalps. I have found that it is best for me, not everybody, but for me, as soon as it pulls back up to your, I play the 8 EMA, so whenever it pulls back to here and I started seeing a little bit of red, I would get in it, it would come down, and as soon as I would see a little bit of green on the candle, I would get out. So I was playing these, and then sometimes I'd miss a big one or whichever, which was fine. Still made $1,800, over $1,800 today. Pretty good day. I feel good about it, and this is just the first of many days ahead. I used to trade futures all the time, but with the Thinkorswim platform, with TD Ameritrade, the margins for one ES contract is $13,200. And in order to trade 4 or 5 contracts or whichever, you have to have some serious cash in your account. I don't carry that kind of cash in my brokerage account. There's no need for it. I buy property. I don't buy brokerage. So I ended up switching over to Ninja Trader and AMP. They have a lot lower margins. So Ninja Trader is like $500 margin for an ES contract. AMP is $400. And the AMP even has one you can sign up for a special and get it for $300. So it works out good. Hey Josh, how you doing, buddy? So AMP, in my opinion, I think AMP is the best deal. You have to pay for your live trading, real-time data on both of them. I pay $12 on Ninja Trader, and then with AMP, I signed up because I really wasn't sure which one, so I just picked all the CME tradable futures, which would be like all your agricultures and all that stuff, and it's $30 a month. I'm wanting to get into corn. One person I was talking to on a futures group said that you can get in corn and short it all the way to December, short the December contract, and you can short it, from now until then and make a lot of money on it. So I'm going to check that out. I don't know anything about the corn, but I'm going to check it out and see what we can do with it. I might add that one into here once I trade it and understand it a little better. So on the ES today, I scalped from, let's see here, this is the 1 minute chart. So I was up rolling through here, and I was hitting a little bit in here, but I was really playing with the NinjaTrader platform more than I was actually making money, and so I learned some lessons here. I did not get in this right here at the opening, which I have no idea why I never, but I didn't. I really have no idea. This would have been a great place to make a lot of money, but when it come down, I was scalping a little bit through here. So along through here, I made around I think it was $600 or so just scalping through here, playing with it. Now I've got the system down pretty good. I missed out on this big drop here. I was away for lunch when this happened, and then it kept on coming over. So I played in this drop here quite a bit, and that's probably where I made the bulk of my money. I started off just scalping one ES contract, and then I started doing 2 contracts. If it would go like 2-3 points drop, I was just taking little pieces at a pie. As my friend Josh that's on here right now, he always says, base hits, Brad, base hits. No home runs, just base hits. Josh, you've been proud of me. Right here, I picked up a lot of base hits where if I would have just got in it and just left it, I'd make a whole lot more money. But you don't know that it's going to be like this going down. You always think that it could possibly come up. So every time it pull back, you're thinking it could go up. So I was doing my base hits all the way down. I raked in some cash, waiting on the opening at 6 o'clock to see what happens. The feds are supposed to start pumping tomorrow, but they have been pumping a day early. So with this big old drop, I would say that after hours is probably going to go up. Where do I think it's going to go? That is a very good question. I thought that it would be at 30.10 by yesterday's close, and we didn't even hit it today. If we look back on this and let me look at a 4 hour. Go back a little further. So we have a trend line up here that is bringing this down. So starting from here and it's coming up, it did not hit it there. We had this big old sell off. I would say that we will probably end up with that. See, this is 28.39. We could easily hit 100 points or more because they announced that they are going to go ahead and do more than the scheduled 500 billion. They're supposed to throw in more money, and there's a ongoing, not really an argument, but it's just an ongoing batter, I guess you'd call it, between me and one other person in our group. He thinks that they are only doing bonds, ETFs, and this and that. Well, if that were true, then ES would not rocket. Every time they pump the money, ES just flies, and the bonds and everything drop. So you tell me. So it really doesn't matter to me. I just know when they pump it, the ES takes off, NQ takes off. A lot of times natural gas will move too, but not always, but not like ES and NQ. So your NASDAQ and S&P are the ones that really take off. So I think that we'll probably end up breaking this based on how much money they're going to be dumping. We could easily go 100 points on every one that they do. So it depends on what it does tonight as far as if it keeps on dropping or if it goes ahead and takes off. So if you look right here, you can see that going across, we have a very good support kind of coming through here. We have our pivot right here. The pivot's at 28.32. It may open at 6 and just immediately drop to that. I'm not really sure. They have been dumping the money one day early. It's been kind of fooling people. So people have been trying to play the Fed dump or Fed pump, and they've been missing it because they would play like puts because they think it's going to be fine till the next morning, and they start pumping it about midnight. Well, before midnight even it starts going, but usually right at midnight you'll see this thing take off. So let's see what it does tonight. It may sell off. You never know. They may be playing us. If we look here, there's another trend coming from here. Let's see here, going from there to actually about right here. And that would actually play out that it could sell off to right here and then take off. And we've got the one up on top. If we bring this one out, actually, we could actually bring this down to here. And that would pick up these two and that one. And then if we take this one on out to right here, right there. So this could easily come up and hit that again, and this could be doing that symmetrical triangle. If they're going to pump it pretty good, I think this may go ahead and break through. That's my personal opinion. But you know, patterns are there for a reason, and the computers trade these patterns. They make those patterns. It's like someone keys in, we're going to go ahead and make this pattern, go to there, and then they hit send, and that computer just starts trading all this. Sometimes I think that the candles are not even money. It is someone that's got a computer program just programming this, and they let certain people know, like institutions, know where it's going to go, so they know where to trade and stuff, and these candles really don't even represent money. Sometimes I think that. And the reason I do is you have ES will be rallying all night. No one's trading Walmart, but yet in the morning Walmart will gap up along with this. So if you're not trading Walmart, how does it gap up? So conspiracy. I love conspiracies. So as far as ES, I believe that tonight we will, I think this will actually turn. It might come down, hit that pivot, and then turn and come up. It depends on when the Feds start pumping as far as when this is going to turn. You can already see the 5 minute, if you look at the MACD or stochastics and all that, everything is starting to show turn on the 5 minute. If you look at a 1 hour chart, you can see here we're at the bottom of stochastics. So, you know, we could easily come down, hit this pivot, and then come right back up. And that would put, and we could even come down and touch this bottom trend, because that would be pretty close. That would put it to right here at, say, that's 5 o'clock. So at 6 o'clock, we could easily, we could dump some more. So that would go down to about 28.22 roughly. So that would dump another 16 points that we could come down and hit this trend line and come up. And honestly, that's probably what it will do if it stays within that pattern. So we'll just have to wait and see. I will be there trading. Hopefully we can get another 15 points or so out of this, and I'll trade 2-3 ES contracts and make a bunch more money on it. So that's ES. Let's go to SPY, because SPY is the same chart, pretty much. We had this drawn up, which did not play out. And let's see, get this one out of there, and then we'll go back into the 4 hour just to get an overall trend direction. Let's see here. That one, let's see. Let me go back to a 1 hour. Sorry. I don't like to go too far back. So yeah, the 1 hour is right there. And then if we take this trend line is playing the same way because the candles are the same. And let's see here, go back here a little bit. So when I chart out ES, it's the same chart as SPY. A lot of people want to see SPY. And the only thing you have to do is take ES, remove 2 numbers, and when you remove 2 numbers, then you are, or remove 1. So where this is 286.67, and then you have this is 283.9, so you're looking 284, and then SPY is 286, so they're pretty close. So they're a couple numbers off, but that's pretty close. But anyway, it's going to be the same trend. It's coming down. This is actually showing it bottomed out already. So we could easily, on SPY, it shows the trend is actually completed and then reverse back. So I always go to ES. It's more accurate. It trades 23 hours a day, whereas SPY does not move quite like that. In the middle of the night, SPY kind of disappears a little bit. ES is real consistent. So if you're going to trade SPY, you should look at ES and follow it. And then we go to GC, looked at gold today, and I was thinking about getting in it, and I even put this ascending broadening wedge pattern, and was talking to everybody about, we have a voice channel now in our Discord group. In our Discord group, I do live trading, but I don't show you my screen. We just do it through voice. It's actually, today was really our first day that we started doing it, and I liked it. Several people joined in. Some were actually trading the futures with us. Some were just listening in and talking. It was a good question answer type thing. We were talking about our trade. Everybody's looking at their own screen, but we're actually talking about what we're looking at. Everybody's set up pretty much the same indicators and so forth, so it's easy to do. But I was talking about how this is an ascending broadening wedge pattern, and that is a bearish sign. So I wasn't sure if we would hold here or not. I thought that we would actually sell off, and we did. So this pattern actually played out today. Ascending broadening wedge pattern. So you're skinny here, you're wide there. It's wider up here, and that is a bearish sign. But we come down, we touched that 200. This is on a 15-minute chart. We touched that 200, and we kept on trying to break it, and then finally it actually broke right here. So the whole market sold off. And gold, I didn't get in gold today. I kept looking at it, was going to get in a trade, but it just wasn't my, it wasn't my flavor today. And this one here, I mean, I could have got in back in here to ride this down, but I just wasn't watching it close enough. And this was at about noon or so. Could have got in this and just really rode it down. I just wasn't watching at the time. I usually eat lunch around noon. And usually around noon, there's nothing going on, but today there was. NG sold off all day long. I had puts from Sunday night, I think it was, when I bought them. And if we go back, see here, Sunday. See, it went, was it Sunday? See, right here. No, over here's Sunday. Went back too far. Today's only Tuesday, isn't it? Okay, so I ended up buying puts somewhere on through here, and then it went up on me. And I kept on holding it because we had this area of consolidation. So I went ahead and held it. I figured that it was going to 162, 163, and it looks like it dropped down and hit the 168 today. So that turned out to be pretty good. I think we're going to continue to drop tonight. We'll probably drop as soon as we get down to this blue line, which is the trend that I've got drawn out. As soon as we get down to that, which is going to be roughly 162-ish, somewhere through there, that is when you'd want to get in some calls. If you get in calls there, then this should rally back up to the $2 range. We got our top trend is, let me get rid of this, get rid of that drawing right there. If we come back up, our trend is, let me go back to it. Where was it? Oh, it's back here. That's why I couldn't find it. So if I bring this one back over to here, so we're probably looking, when we start rallying, we are probably looking to get back up to the $2 range. Now, this actually went up to 216.3 back on, what was that, last Tuesday. That's when it did that. And sold off ever since then. But on the, I think that this will actually come down, touch this trend, and as soon as it does, it will rally again real hard, just like it did back over here. As soon as it touched the bottom trend the last time right there, in one day it went from 161 all the way up to 2.01. So that's going to be 37 points that it actually went up. That is a huge increase. And on when it did that, I was actually in the puts here and I was in the calls here. So I was actually doing future options with that. So on this one, when it comes down, I will jump back into some future calls and just let it go. I will probably go ahead and get in future contracts as well and go ahead and write that up. So overlook the dog. I got the windows open. It's in the 70s here. I live down South Carolina around the beach, a couple blocks off the beach, and I leave my window open all the time. So that's little Harper over there that you hear. She's a cute little dog. She I guess called dog watch it sometimes. When I used to have a Harley, I could start my Harley and she would go nuts. Anybody else could have a Harley, she wouldn't act up or nothing. But as soon as she heard mine, she would come to the door. She wanted to go riding. Then we have NQ. Did the same thing as ES. Now, this one is running in a channel. And it kind of makes me wonder if ES is going to sell off as well, because where it's in this channel, will it continue to come on down to here, or will it come down to where our, we call that the, let me look here. I can't remember the name of it. Standard deviation channel, okay? So this is our middle one right here, and that's kind of like the trend of where it's actually looking for. So by running the standard deviation coming down, we could actually bounce that. It's kind of like a resistance type thing, resistance and support. And this is kind of where it is going to be running. So are we going to run down to that and then bounce back up, or are we going to stay in this channel? It depends on what the Feds do. If the Feds actually step in and start pumping, this is going to go up. The NASDAQ always goes up with S&P every time the Feds pump. So this could easily take back off. And if we look at it, I traded a little bit today in it. I didn't get in here because I was in ES during that time. And I traded, I don't remember what time it was. Josh was in there. Do you remember what time it was we were trading that? Let's see. It had to be, I think it was right through here where I was trading, or it was here. One of the two. It had to be here because it was in the morning. And so if we look at the 1 minute chart, maybe it'll help me look at it. Let's see, right through, I guess it's right through here is where I was trading it, I think. It was in the morning. I don't remember where I was, but I traded a little bit. I think I made total maybe $300 or something on it, and I was staying in it too long is what I was doing. Instead of just letting it ride up and taking my profit, I was riding it up, and then it would come down and it would get close to my stop, and I would take the profit. So on the futures, you want to make sure that when it takes off, you have a big old spike. If you can get a couple points out of it or something, take your profit. If it's not enough profit, then increase your contracts. And that way you can make the profit that you're wanting. You don't have to get in it and stay in it, because you have all this up and down. There's a good chance it might come out and get you stopped, or you get nervous, or it might just go ahead and sell off. So as soon as it pops up, take your profit. That's what I have been trying to train myself to do, because I like to get in up here and just let it keep on going. And I've learned that I make a lot more money it was that area there. Oh, thanks, Josh. Back over here. I have learned that if I take my profit, even if it keeps on dropping, be happy with what you got. As soon as you take profit, they cannot take that away from you. It's your profit. So stick into that. And so I did the NQ, and like I said, it depends on what the Feds do here. If they start pumping, this is going to come right on up. Otherwise, it could continue to sell off. Everything is showing that it's going to reverse here. So we'll find out in a bit. So that is all of our futures. That's the ones we're doing. I'm going to add, I don't even know the ticker symbols for it, but I'm going to add some corn and probably some beef. I'm going to start looking at that stuff and seeing what I can do with it. And agriculture is new to me. I've never traded future agriculture. So, we'll tap into that a little bit. Somebody mentioned about doing the Russell. Russell is like 200, I think it was small cap stocks that they run. So it's kind of like S&P 500, only it's more of it's 200 of the small cap. And my Ninja Trader would not allow the chart to come up. So I think I need to check with them and maybe bump up my the streaming stuff in order to add that. I thought I had all of them that I needed, but I'm going to look around and see what I can trade. And honestly, if you just trade ES, GC, NG, and NQ, that's all you need. That's it. If you trade those four, there's always a trade within those four. ES and ES and NQ, usually run kind of the same pattern. Not always, but real close. In Q, you make a little less per tick, but it moves faster, so it's probably about equal. And I've never figured it up to the, to the time frame or anything, but they're pretty close to each other. So go back to ES, look at that. My plan tonight is to see what is happening here. If it wants to go ahead and drop, I'm going to hop in it. But if it's just kind of consolidating a little bit, I'll just wait. And then I'll wait till the direction happens. And when we get direction, then I'm going to hop in it. Right now, I am up, what is that? You can see my count there, I guess. My count started off with 1,500 this morning. I'm at 32, 36, 12. And this top one up here is not real. That's fake money. So that one up there don't count. But this is actually a real count. That's how much I made today. It's actually working out pretty good for me. I'm happy with the $1,727.50 day. And I'm actually, I'll tell you what, I'll show you the Ninja Trader platform since I got it there. The platform is actually pretty decent. I've got my 1 minute chart over here. I've got a 5 minute chart here, and then I've got another monitor that you can't see that has the 15 on it. And the 15, I'll bring it over, you can see it. 15's here. I've got some dynamic support and resistance lines in there, and those automatically happen. I don't necessarily trade by those, but I do kind of watch them, and it depends on what time frame I'm on of how they work. So like the 15 will be here, the 5 minute they'll be different. So it works off of the support and resistance of the time frame that you're using. And so I like them. They actually work pretty good. I'm not necessarily sold on them, but it's actually good to kind of see where they are without having to draw your lines all the time. So as it starts dropping, they will move as well. They're dynamic. Static will stay placed, dynamic moves. And like I said, here's my 1 minute chart that I'm using, and I use that for just to scalp it pretty much. Let's see here. Why is that not moving? Usually it will move right there. I don't know why it's not moving. I don't know. So as far as the way I trade, I'm using the 1, 5, and 15, and various indicators. I'm looking at different supports, resistance, and all that. So we offer two courses actually. One is actually several courses, but we have one. If you don't understand futures, it is a future contracts course. That is how I'm trading to make the money today. There is also a future options course, and that will teach you how to trade future options. Future options is different than equity options, so don't just go in there and start buying stuff, because you need to understand what it's about. It works different. Kind of the same, but different. Future contracts, in my opinion, is definitely the best money if you know how to do it. And we also offer a scalping for future and equity options course, and it teaches you how to scalp the options. I'm in the process of making a future or a scalping for future contracts. So it depends on what you're wanting to do. There's 4 courses right there that work for you. We also have let's see what else we have on. I think there's like 5 or 6 different courses on there right now. I'm adding them as quick as I can. But if you're wanting to trade futures, I would advise you to buy the future contract course. That's going to be the easiest one for you to learn, and it's going to be the easiest one, probably less money out of pocket to trade with. It's probably going to be so if you got a small account, then you can do that. I only put $1,500 in this account, mainly because I didn't need to put any more in there. In one day I more than doubled it, 215%, I think it was, that I am now on that account. So the only thing I have to do is, if I can make, and I didn't even use my full account. I only used like 500 at a time, and then when I was doing 2 contracts, I was using 1,000, and so using those, the $1,500, you can start off with that. You don't need to put $25,000, $30,000 in there. You don't need it. It's just a waste of money setting into brokerage. Put you, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 in there. If you know how to trade, then you can easily make enough money to build that account faster. In less than 24 hours, I put $1,700 worth in there, profits. I don't even need that. Like I said, I only need about, probably 1,500, 2,000 in there to trade the way I want. 2,000 get me 4 contracts. Eventually, I will probably turn it into where, when I have a good pattern like this right here, then I can jump in with, say, 5, 10 contracts. If I do 10 contracts, that's going to be $500 for every point. So a point would be $28.95 to $28.96. That'd be $500. So from right here, let's actually do it over here. Make it bigger so you can see it. From right here to right there would be $500. Well, that is just barely a movement. So that would be $500 if you do 10 contracts. So if it dropped, say, 10 points and you were in that, then you're going to be $5,000 on that. So you can make $5,000 from right here to right here. That's 10 points. And that's if you did 10 contracts. Now, you could also lose $5,000. So, it's not all winning. So the way I do, the way I scalp and so forth is different, and we teach that in the courses, how I do it. It would actually do you good to get started on those courses. Even if you are a really good trader and stuff, the scalping course would probably work out for you and teach you maybe some stuff that I do that you don't, or it may not be right for you. The way I trade doesn't work for everybody. So this will conclude it. We will do another market brief on tomorrow. I'm going to try to do them between 5 and 6. That is when I can't trade. This is strictly on the futures side. I'm not doing the equity option recaps anymore. There's a lot of people losing money on them because it is going sideways most of the marketing day. The moves are in the evenings and the mornings, and that's what I'm trading. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I will be back on here tomorrow about 5:15 or so and do another market recap for how the day is going and what we plan on doing. So I hope you all made money today, and we'll see you in the Discord channel if you are part of our Discord, and if not, please join. You can look at the link down below, SpyMoneyLLC.com, and it will discuss everything about it and teach you how to get set up. You guys have a great day. Thanks.